Have you ever wondered which mobile phones truly dominated the world and became the most successful devices in history? Not just popular for a moment, but phones that sold hundreds of millions of units and defined entire eras of communication. Imagine a time when phones were not smart, not touch-based, and not packed with apps yet. They were still so powerful in their own way that they reached people across the globe and became absolute bestsellers. Some of these devices were simple, built for one purpose: making calls and sending messages. And yet, that simplicity was exactly what made them so successful. But as technology evolved, everything changed. Phones became smarter, designs became sleeker, and features started to explode. Cameras improved, screens got bigger, and suddenly, phones weren't just tools, they became essential parts of daily life. But here's something interesting. Being the most advanced didn't always guarantee success. In many cases, the best-selling phones were the ones that struck the perfect balance between price, reliability, and timing. Can you guess which phones managed to reach global audiences so effectively that they sold in the hundreds of millions? Some of them might surprise you. And here's a question for you. What was the first phone you ever used? Was it a classic keypad phone or an early smartphone? Think about how far we've come since then. From small screens with limited colors to high-resolution displays that feel almost like mini computers in your hand, the transformation has been incredible. And along the way, certain phones didn't just sell, they became cultural icons. People remember them not just for what they did, but for how they felt to use. The buttons, the design, the durability, even the ringtone, everything played a role in making these devices memorable. And as new models entered the market, competition grew stronger than ever. Companies pushed boundaries, introduced innovations, and tried to capture global attention. Some phones became instant hits, while others slowly gained popularity over time. And what's fascinating is that some of the highest-selling phones weren't necessarily the most feature-packed. They were simply the right product at the right time, meeting the needs of millions of people around the world. Now here's something worth thinking about. How do you define success in the mobile phone industry? Is it innovation, design, affordability, or sheer sales numbers? Because when you look at the best-selling phones of all time, it's clear that success is a combination of many factors working together. And as these rankings shift, rise, and evolve, they tell a bigger story about how technology spreads globally. In some regions, certain phones became extremely popular due to affordability and accessibility, while in others, premium devices dominated the market. This global variation is what makes the list so interesting to watch. And if you enjoy discovering content like this insightful, data-driven, and full of surprising facts, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Because there's always another chart, another ranking, and another story waiting to be explored. And as we move through these phones, you'll notice how each one represents a moment in time, a snapshot of what people valued, what technology offered, and how the world connected. Some phones introduced features that changed expectations forever, while others perfected simplicity and reliability. And together, they shaped the evolution of mobile communication into what we know today. So as the rankings climb and change, pay attention not just to the numbers, but to the story behind them. Because every phone on this list didn't just sell well, they left a mark on history, influenced millions of users, and helped define the future of mobile technology. And now the question remains, among all these legendary devices, which ones will stand the test of time? And which ones will be remembered as the true giants of mobile history? And as we go deeper into the history of best-selling mobile phones, it becomes even more interesting to see how different eras produced different kinds of winners. In the early days, durability and battery life were everything. People wanted phones that could last for days without charging and survive drops, scratches, and heavy use. Those devices became incredibly popular because they were practical, dependable, and easy to use. Then came the shift toward features: cameras, messaging, internet access, and suddenly, the definition of a best-selling phone started to evolve. It wasn't just about calling anymore. It was about experiencing an entire digital lifestyle in one device. And that shift opened the door for a new wave of phones to dominate the market. Touchscreens replaced physical keypads, apps replaced simple menus, and operating systems turned phones into powerful mini-computers. But even with all these changes, one thing stayed constant: the phones that sold the most were the ones that appealed to the widest audience possible. Accessibility became key. A phone didn't need to be the most advanced, it needed to be the most usable, the most appealing, and the most available across different markets. And that's where global reach played a huge role. Some phones became extremely popular in specific regions before expanding worldwide, while others launched globally and gained instant traction almost everywhere at once. And here's something fascinating. Marketing also played a massive role in success. The way a phone was presented, advertised, and positioned could influence millions of buyers. A strong brand image, combined with trust and consistency, often led to record-breaking sales. People weren't just buying a device, they were buying into an ecosystem, a reputation, and a promise of quality. And over time, as competition increased, companies started innovating not just in hardware, but in software, user experience, and design philosophy. Every new generation of phones aimed to improve on the previous one, adding features that users didn't even know they needed until they experienced them. That's how smartphones became such an integral part of daily life. And if you think about it, the reason these best-selling phones reach such massive numbers is because they managed to become part of people's routines. From waking up to checking notifications to communicating throughout the day to capturing memories, these devices became indispensable tools. And as technology continues to evolve, the competition only gets stronger. New phones enter the market every year, each trying to outperform the last, but only a few manage to achieve truly legendary sales numbers. Those are the ones that stand out, not just for their specifications, but for their impact on the world. They represent moments where technology, timing, and demand all align perfectly. And when you look at the numbers behind these devices, it's almost unbelievable how many people around the world chose the same phone, turning it into a global phenomenon. It makes you realize how interconnected the world has become, where a single product can reach hundreds of millions of users across continents, cultures, and lifestyles. And as we continue to watch the rankings shift, one thing becomes clear: this isn't just a list of phones. It's a timeline of innovation, a record of human progress, and the reflection of how communication has transformed over the years. Each device tells its own story, and together they form a bigger picture of how mobile technology has evolved into what it is today. So, as the numbers rise and fall and new names appear on the list, it's worth remembering that every entry represents not just a successful product, but a milestone in the journey of connecting the world. And what makes this journey even more fascinating is how quickly consumer preferences can change over time. A phone that once dominated the market can gradually lose its position as newer models arrive with improved features and updated designs. Yet even when that happens, the impact of those earlier best-selling phones doesn't disappear. They remain important milestones that help shape what came next. In many ways, each generation builds on the success of the previous one, refining ideas, improving performance, and introducing new experiences that keep users excited. And sometimes a single breakthrough feature is enough to shift the entire industry. A better camera, a longer-lasting battery, a smoother interface. Small improvements can lead to massive changes in sales when they align with what people truly want. That's why the phones that succeed at the highest level are often the ones that understand their audience the best. They don't just focus on being different, they focus on being useful, reliable, and accessible to millions of people across the world. And here's something worth thinking about. Every time a new best-selling phone rises to the top, it reflects a moment in time where that device perfectly matched global demand. It's not just about technology, it's about timing, trust, and widespread adoption. And as the market continues to grow, more people are entering the mobile ecosystem than ever before, increasing the potential for even higher sales numbers in the future. That means the competition isn't slowing down, it's evolving. Companies continue to innovate, experiment, and push boundaries in hopes of creating the next global bestseller. And while some phones achieve instant success, others build their reputation gradually, proving that there's more than one path to becoming a top-selling device. And as we look at these rankings, rising and falling, it becomes clear that the mobile phone industry is one of the most dynamic and fast-changing industries in the world. What's popular today might be replaced tomorrow, and what seems ordinary at one point can suddenly become iconic under the right circumstances. And that's the beauty of it. Nothing stays fixed. Everything moves forward. Each phone on this list is a result of countless decisions, innovations, and global trends coming together at the same time. From design choices to marketing strategies, from pricing to availability, every factor plays a role in determining success. And when everything aligns perfectly, the result is a device that doesn't just sell, it dominates. So, as you watch these phones appear and climb through the rankings, take a moment to appreciate the story behind each one. Because behind every number is a moment in history, a wave of users, and a product that connected millions of people in ways that were once unimaginable. And as technology continues to advance, one thing is certain: new legends will emerge, records will be broken, and the story of best-selling mobile phones will keep evolving, one device at a time. Another fascinating aspect of best-selling mobile phones is how global markets influence their success. A phone that performs exceptionally well in one region may also gain traction in completely different parts of the world, creating a ripple effect that boosts overall sales. Distribution networks, carrier partnerships, and regional pricing strategies all play a major role in how widely a device is adopted. In some cases, availability alone can determine whether a phone becomes a global hit or remains limited to certain areas. And when a device becomes accessible across multiple continents, its chances of reaching massive sales numbers increase significantly. At the same time, marketing and brand reputation cannot be ignored. A strong brand presence builds anticipation before a phone even launches, and that anticipation often translates into immediate demand once the product is released. People follow trends, reviews, and early impressions, which can quickly influence purchasing decisions. And when positive feedback spreads, it creates a chain reaction where more and more users become interested in the same device. That's how some phones gain momentum rapidly and dominate charts shortly after their release. Another key factor is the ecosystem surrounding a phone. Devices that integrate seamlessly with other products, services, or accessories tend to keep users within the same system. This creates a long-term relationship between the user and the brand, increasing the likelihood of repeat purchases and continued loyalty. Over time, this ecosystem effect strengthens a brand's position in the market and contributes to sustained sales across multiple product generations. It's also worth noting how user behavior has evolved alongside technology. In earlier years, phones were primarily used for calling and texting. But today, they serve as entertainment hubs, productivity tools, cameras, navigation devices, and more. This expanded functionality has increased the importance of having a device that performs well across multiple tasks. As a result, phones that offer a balanced experience, combining performance, design, battery life, and usability tend to appeal to a broader audience. And when a product appeals to a broad audience, its sales naturally reflect that reach. Looking at the bigger picture, best-selling phones are not just individual successes. They represent shifts in technology, culture, and consumer expectations. Each milestone reflects a moment where innovation met demand in a way that resonated with millions of people. And as new technologies continue to emerge, such as faster connectivity, improved artificial intelligence features, and more advanced hardware, the competition to create the next best-selling phone becomes even more intense. Companies are constantly trying to anticipate what users will want next, and the ones that succeed are those that stay ahead of trends while maintaining reliability. It's a delicate balance between innovation and practicality. Push too far, and the device may become too complex or expensive for mass adoption. Stay too conservative, and it may fail to stand out in a crowded market. The most successful phones manage to strike that balance perfectly, offering enough new features to attract attention while remaining familiar and easy to use. And as we continue to move through the rankings, you'll notice how each phone tells its own story, some rising quickly due to groundbreaking features, others maintaining steady popularity over time due to consistency and trust. Together, these devices form a timeline of technological progress, showing how far the mobile industry has come and how rapidly it continues to evolve. And with each passing year, new contenders enter the scene, aiming to challenge existing records and redefine what it means to be a best-selling phone. So as you follow along, keep in mind that every position, every rise, and every change in ranking reflects not just numbers but global trends, user preferences, and the ongoing evolution of mobile technology shaping the way we communicate and connect with the world.